My mother was a caregiver for 50 years, and she would go out of her way to take care of her patients. And my mother could spot a phony, and she could spot somebody who was sincere. And Carol was the real McCoy, as far as my mother was concerned.
She moved into an apartment on the first floor this way, and then she moved into the memory care unit. So she moved in March of 2019, and then she just passed this December. Some days were really hard coming in and seeing her, and you walk out of here and you're just like, at least she has somebody like Carol to be there when we can't be there. And that was huge, absolutely huge for us.
My relationship with Joan was like I'm her granddaughter. We have a good relationship. She gravitated to me, and I gravitate to her.
We got to a point with my mom that we couldn't understand what she was saying. She talked very lightly and softly, and my brother Mike and I were visiting her one day, and we were getting frustrated because we couldn't understand what she was asking for. And Carol walked in the room, and she saw our frustrations, and she got right over to my mom and practically got in bed with her and put her ear to my mom's mouth, and she knew what she wanted. My mom had that communication with her, and I remember saying to my brother walking out, she's in good hands.
Sometimes when Joan is having difficulty talking, I'll climb over into the bed to hear what she was saying. I think that's make her feel happy that somebody is there for her.
She knows the importance of caregiving for someone who is at the end of life. And many times what Carol has done is you will hear her singing hymns to a resident, and we really believe that that has helped transition some residents from this world to the next.
When Joan was in the dining room, and I walk over to her and I sang it, and I think that was the last song I sang to her before she died. If tomorrow never come, you must face this world without us. Did the love we gave you in the past gonna be enough to last? If tomorrow never come. And it never comes. That was the last one I sang to her.
It's very touching what Carol does and provides for residents and their families, the gifts that she gives. I don't want to crunch. I know that Carol embodies Benchmark's values of being called to care, better together, and being the benchmark. She truly is a compassionate caregiver, and she is so deserving of this award.
Carol deserves it because we believe she went above and beyond, and from what I'm understanding, this is just normal routine for Carol. This is who she is. She was born to be in there.
Carol made it very easy for us because we knew she was in good hands with her. Dad and I often will just go out and sit on the patio and chat. And one time we were out there and patio looked great, except for there was a little pile of leaves under one of the tables. Dad said, "Oh, I would just love to get at that pile of leaves." And I said, "Well, I'll take a peek in the kitchen and see if there's somebody in there." Well, sure enough, Tashna was there, and she says, "I know what your dad wants. He wants a broom." And I said, "Yes, he does," because she had given him brooms in the past. And she said, "Your dad just loves to sweep that patio. He loves to take care of the flowers." Just to know that there's somebody that you can go to. And, for me as a family member, that is so reassuring, because even though I live close by, Dad can't really share a whole lot of the events of his day.
My relationship with John, I consider him as a grandfather, like a grandfather to me, because I never knew my grandfather. So to see him very active around the community makes me feel as if I want to do something to make him put a smile on his face.
When I'm in the front of the house or out in the dining room, Tashna is very engaging with our residents, knowing them by their first name, and many times anticipating their needs before they can. It speaks in volumes to the care that goes into the thought of each meal that's delivered, because the food service is all about service with a smile.
I left Jamaica at the age of 10 years old. I wasn't there for my mom when she was ill, so giving back to the residents makes me feel good inside.
Tashna is the first person to greet our new associates and bring them into the culture of our community with the right attitude, the right service, and the right smile. When COVID was first breaking, we decided that it was prudent to go into a quarantine until we had more information before the vaccines were available. So we had to do room-to-room service for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But Tashna's organizational skills and knowledge of the resident made that possible.
It's just being here made me feel very important to the residents, and knowing that they need me as well as I need them.
Dad feels that Tashna really cares about him. And she shows that in small, kind ways.
I believe that Tashna does these acts of kindness without even thinking. She is truly called to care.
When I said to him, you know, we're going to be talking about Tashna, he said, Tashna really knows me, and she knows what I need, and she takes good care of me. And boy, as a family member, I mean, you're just so grateful that there's somebody here that makes your parent feel that way.
It's not just a job for me. I've lived here, I've learned here, and I've loved here.
I cannot think of a better person to award the Compassionate Caregiver Award to than Tashna. As someone who employed a lot of people, I would always look for someone who went above and beyond. And Tashna definitely goes above and beyond.
The one word that comes to mind with Heather is she's just so unbelievably genuine. Residents really trust her, and she goes above and beyond in just about every fashion of the job that you really could imagine here.
I came to Haverhill Crossings myself about 1.5 years ago because my wife was here. I visited her almost every day, and my own health was failing, so it seemed to be the right move. Even though I was here every day, I was mostly in the harbor, and almost immediately, Heather, she was one of those people that's always there to help you.
Bill's a wonderful guy. He's very easily liked by everyone. We first bonded when he was visiting his wife. He would come in every day to visit Judy. So she had Alzheimer's, and she eventually passed due to complications of Alzheimer's.
When my wife passed, the staff was absolutely wonderful to me. But Heather took the time to come and see me and sit with me.
We shared a loss. I lost my grandmother-in-law, who was living here for 1 year at that point, and he lost his wife.
Heather's relationship with Bill is very deep. Bill sadly lost his son last year.
Bill kind of kept to himself for a while there when his son passed away, because that was a shock. He expected him to pick him up one day, and he didn't show, which was very unlike him.
The next day she came back and she brought me this card. Children are gifts, sometimes they are gone too soon. Sadly, you're left to endure the loss no parent ever should. Please know that you are not alone, now and always. I'll make time to listen, whether it's a chat, more beautiful music, or a tight hug. I'm not far away to share. After you've shared your news, I went home and played Judy Garland's Over the Rainbow. So this is really special to me. That's Heather. I mean, that's compassion. They say, you know it when you see it. Now that compelled me to nominate her for this award.
When Bill's nomination was read aloud, it brought me to tears. it reminded me of when his wife passed, when his son passed. And yeah, we got close during those times.
It's more than just the residents that she's caring for, it's her coworkers that are here. And she's been here for 7 years. When it comes to being the benchmark, there is no better employee than Heather True. When you dream up this award and what it embodies, with everything with Benchmark, she is the ideal candidate. To find an employee that will spend that much quality time with a resident outside of their normal daily job routine is just really, really special.
When I moved in here and I know Heather, I introduced myself and Heather really likes me, I guess. Heather's a nice person, a kind person.